Heroes of Tenefyr is a 1 to 4 player cooperative deck building game. You will set up 10 dungeons of varying difficulty, 2 each of levels 1 to 5. Then you will choose your characters. Each character has a skill card, and you will take 6 0 power cards and 6 0 1 power cards, 6 1 power cards and 6 0 cards, and shuffle them up effectively like that. As a team, you'll choose which dungeon to enter, and the first player will draw the top 3 cards from their hand. If they do not like them, they can discard them and draw 3 more, but you will not be able to draw more cards once you have emptied your deck. You do not shuffle your discard pile until later on. Here, the Bard power allows me to discard 2 cards from my deck to power up another player's hand. So I'll do that to try and beat the monster. So I draw the next 3 cards after a smooth transition turn around with the camera there, and see if we've doubled anything. Well, there we go, we've doubled the 1 to a 2, which is just enough to beat the monster at 2-player level, as I'm illustrating here with the gift of giving you the V's. And this monster then comes into the hand of the person who defeated them and becomes a power card or an action card. Every time you come out of a dungeon, you move the monster track forward 1, apart from if you get booted out by being defeated, then you move it forward 2. Then you'll take on the boss in the same way as you take on monsters in the dungeon. I really like deck building games. I'm a bit wobbly on co-op games. I like co-op games with my family. I don't always like them in game group. I don't know why that is. Although I played my favourite ever co-op game yesterday. Not going to tell you what that is. Distract from this review, won't it? But Heroes of Tenefyr is, I think I'm saying that right, is a really cool and interesting co-op deck building game. You start with these 13 cards, 6 of which are zeros, which you feel like, zeros? Why are there zeros in this game? But when you understand that that deck represents your ability to go further into the dungeon, because once you've discarded cards, you can't reshuffle until you're out of the dungeon. So, and you only draw 3 cards per turn. So if you aren't drawing, if you just have all 1s, 6 1s, you're only going to get through 2 monsters before you're exhausted and can't do anything more in the dungeon anyway. And that's my overall impression of the game, is that I came away thinking this is a tight play-tested game. Your first game is going to feel very hard as you look at these totals of health on these monsters and think, how on earth are we going to get those? But you'll beat one monster and then you'll add something, you'll flip that monster and add it to your deck, and then you'll get through a dungeon and you'll be able to boost, scrap some cards from your hand or boost with a higher dungeon card, and it all just works. It's not easy, but it does feel like you're making decisions, riding out your luck, and choosing when to do certain things, because unlike other deck building games, you can always just scrap your cards at your whole hand and draw 3 more. So you might think, well, we're going to beat this monster, but let's beat this monster, come back out, refresh, one of us will get a card, and then we'll all shuffle up, and then we'll go back in. That's a fine strategy. However, every time you come out of a dungeon, if you come out willingly or beat the dungeon, the boss monster moves on 1. If you lose, it moves on 2. And yeah, so in your first game, what tends to happen is you tend to just stay in. You're like, yeah, we can stay in. And then the boss monster comes along and you are wholly unprepared for the boss monster. You need to level up your decks. The different character powers are really cool and balanced and help each other, like doubling other people's attack strength, or allowing them to take cards from their discard pile, which is massive. I would say, and I would recommend after playing this game, if you're playing with less than 4 heroes, take out the cards that reference those special heroes, because they are so much better with those heroes, unless they've got a big fat number on them, which any hero can use. If they say, if you are barbarian, double this number, and it's just a 1, get rid of that. That is, you may as well, and it says in the rules to do this, but that is going to make the game flow a lot better and not make you think, oh, I've got this card, it triggers off barbarians. And there's enough variety in cards in the deck to do that. The dungeons are all set out, so you have 2 dungeons of each level, 1 to 5, and each dungeon has 4 monsters in. Then there's a 4-card deck of a boss monster. You won't get through all the dungeons probably, but you will get through some. Once you've been booted out, you can come back in and try and get that team reward. It's just really, really nice. This is a prototype copy, and my biggest complaint is probably the basic cards. The artwork on them is just kind of a scroll. I don't know if that's going to change. If that doesn't change, that will remain my biggest criticism, because you see those cards an awful lot. Even if the number were just big in the middle, it would look a lot better. I know that would go against the rest of the graphic design now. But the game plays well, the game gives you decisions to make as a team, it encourages teamwork without devolving into an alpha gamer situation where one player is making all the decisions. You have to really balance you try and balance who makes the killing blow as well, because if the same person kills the monsters all the time, they're going to be getting all the bonus cards and you guys are all going to be weak. So there's loads of interesting decisions. There's strategies that emerge after 1, 2, 3 plays. I think this is a great little core box of a co-op deck builder that can be added to with monsters and cards, but you're getting loads in the initial package anyway. So this is a strong recommendation for fans of co-op deck building games for sure. Fans of deck building who want something a little bit different, who want the kind of more tight strategic planning of just having 3 cards, I think are going to love this game. That's Heroes of Tenefyr. Check it out on Kickstarter, the link will be down below. Thanks very much for watching Board Deck and Dice. We will see you next time.